Donald Trump ran for president as the guy that was going to save the struggling coal industry that has, ever since the year 2012, been shedding jobs and losing money like crazy. But in 2016, Donald Trump, in numerous different speeches and campaign pitches, told us that he was going to save coal. He was going to reverse the Obama administration's alleged war on coal that had apparently been waged for 8 years. Now, about that war on coal, though, before I get into the issue here, for many, many years I was writing for DeSmogBlog, and every couple months I would have to do a story about this alleged war on coal and how it didn't exist, and how you even had CEOs of coal companies admitting it didn't exist, how Obama was actually pretty damn friendly to the coal companies, and the fact that that had nothing to do with the coal industry's decline. His Clean Power Plan is not what contributed to coal companies' decline. What contributed to it, I wrote about this years ago, and we're finally starting to see some of the very severe impacts of it, is decreased global demand and domestic demand for coal. Everybody's moving on. Coal has been burned as a source of fuel and energy in this country for well over 200 years. And finally, starting just a few years ago, the public started to wake up. They realized, one, that we can't deny the reality of climate change anymore. We can't deny the science. But most importantly, there's better sources of energy out there that aren't going to kill us either trying to mine it or by burning it. And we're good. And then suddenly the whole world woke up and said, you know what? Maybe it's time to get off coal. 200 years is enough, especially considering all the energy advancements that have happened in those 200 years. And that's what's killing the coal companies. But back to the main issue here, and we'll get back to that part in a moment. This week, 2 massive coal companies announced that they were filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which puts close to 2,000 jobs in this country at risk of being cut. And let's be honest, those roughly 2,000 jobs will be lost within the next 12 months. These companies are hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. The 2 companies are Black Jewel LLC and Revolution Energy LLC in West Virginia and Wyoming. Hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. They owe that money to the State Department. They owe that money to the states themselves where they operate. And they can't pay it because the demand for coal has dropped. And that's what people need to understand. Trump coming in and saying he's going to save the coal industry by repealing regulations. Regulations aren't what have killed the coal industry. It's a lack of demand. The free market literally killed coal. And it's a death that was long overdue. But the problem, of course, is that now we're going to have 2,000 people who aren't going to have jobs. They do deserve our sympathy and they do deserve our help. And here's the bigger problem with that. We had the means years ago to start switching from coal to renewable energy. And rather than suddenly these 2,000 people finding themselves without jobs, we could have transitioned them. We could have trained them. These 2,000 jobs wouldn't be lost in the next 12 months because those 2,000 people would already be working, putting together solar panels or windmills or a new energy infrastructure that harnesses clean energy and delivers it to cities. We wouldn't have to worry about people losing their jobs because we would have already transitioned them years ago. But we didn't. We let the Republicans, Mitch McConnell was their leader, because obviously Kentucky, another big coal state that has also seen the demand for coal and the production of coal drop by tens of millions of tons per year. We let those idiots tell us that Obama was killing coal. And we got to bring coal back. We got to save your jobs. We got to send you back down to those mines. And we're also cutting compensation for black lung too. So be careful out there. But the Republicans did this. This is a uniquely Republican decision to keep us on these forms of fuel, to prevent these workers from being able to transition into a renewable energy economy. That was the Republicans. And now we got to do something. We either let these 2,000 people and the thousands more in the coal industry who are going to lose their jobs before the end of the year, we either let them go hungry, we either let them have to go on welfare or unemployment, or we start today and work on creating a government-sponsored public works project that transitions these people from the coal industry to the renewable energy industry. And that is the only viable option, not just for these workers, but for the actual future of this country itself. Thanks for watching, everybody. And don't forget, if you like what you see here, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And now you can also become a member of Ring of Fire and get exclusive early access to certain Ring of Fire videos all throughout the week. Just click on the little join button right below the video.